Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Alan Revises. When last we left off, we had been working on the second apple, and we're trying to get through it. We're about halfway through, and at this point, we are still in the hospital. Anne's father has died, and Bergen was there to give her a few minutes with her father in a sort of fugue state, which we won't get into, where he imagined he was battling Hades, or maybe he was actually battling Hades. It's hard to say because the hospital wasn't destroyed, and he wasn't injured, but things did happen. So, in the hospital lounge, Anne scribbles her name onto a sheaf of paper, all but thrusts them over to a nurse while Bergen looks helplessly on. Anne turns as her father's body wheeled out of the room. It doesn't go down the hall. It just wheeled out of the room. Anne wavers and is kept only by Bergen's light touch. She's kept from falling from crumpling. Exterior, countryside, night. A swift sports car glides through the night. Bergen drives the car down a twisting road. In the passenger seat, Anne stares out at the slice of oblivion outside her window. Anne, who is all cried out, take the next left. It's obviously her car. How can I indicate that it's her car? A set of keys labeled the fob labeled Anne dangles from the ignition. Now, a lot of cars are remote start or something like that, but I'm going to be a little traditionalist. If nothing else, this little part will remind me that I have to indicate somehow that the car is Anne's. That it's not Bergen's, that he didn't buy this. And that's important. The sports car halts before a tidy country mansion whose topiary alone could swallow a home. Anne staggers out, lurches towards the front door, and then halts with her hand half raised. She gathers herself as Bergen steps near. Are you? And Anne says, he would always come out to greet me, rain or shine. He's gone. Now I know he's gone. She turns, buries her head against Bergen's chest. He slides an arm around her, holds her close as if to gather the grief from her. Her labored breathing slows. She looks up, finds her hands. Thanks. It feels wrong to ask this because I hardly know you. Ask. Let me drive your car. You let me drive your car. No, that's kind of beating it to the head over it. A flurry of worried families spill out the front door. Politely, they pry Anne away from Bergen. Anne, as she leaves, come to the funeral, please. He'd like that. I will. Anne's family whisks her inside. Bergen watches her go, holds back a sigh. The car keys jingle in his hand as he waves farewell. Bergen glances at the keys with Anne's name on it, calls out, this isn't actually my car. Begin montage. Funeral. Oh, we have another montage. Well, this is my third montage. Fine. Begin montage. Funeral. Anne, clad only in the bare essentials, lies atop one half of a crisply made bed. A black dress and accessories are laid out beside her as if in a ghostly mirror. Bergen rifles through his apartment closet, pulls out a dark suit. In a much seedier side of town, Bergen rifles through his apartment closet, pulls out a dark suit with it from a dusty dry cleaning bag. Anne slides the dress over her head, refuses to cry. In Gergo's Pizza, Bergen accepts a pair of polished black shoes from Costas, shakes his old boss's hand and waves goodbye to Tony, who works merrily behind the counter. I wanted to set up Tony the fact that he's still working even though he's got access to money now. Anne steps into the funeral parlor, gives a shudder as she spies the closed casket at the far end of the room. Bergen steps to her side, gently takes her hand, and lends her a palpable strength. Men and women in black mourning black begin to trickle in. Anne greets each while Bergen assists with hats and coats, makes easy conversation despite the dark place they are in. In knots of 3 or 4, people talk and wait as the preacher approaches the pulpit. They take their seats. Everyone takes their seats. This should be significant somehow. The director of photography might, he'll probably have a field day with this sort of blocking. Everyone takes their seats like a rolling wave like dominoes. Like tipping dominoes. And I might even be able to spell that right. Okay, dominoes. There we go. They listen to a eulogy filled with sad humor, gravitas, and meaning. The mourners head for their cars. A black hearse accepts the coffin. Amid gravestones, the casket is lowered into the ground. One by one, the mourners say their farewells to the departed. Anne gives a final round of hugs to her family until she and Bergen are alone at the gravesite. She reaches down, grasps and casts the last bit of earth onto the casket. She draws a shot of her breath, then steps back from the brink. Back to scene. This needs a back to scene. Exterior graveyard day. Anne and Bergen quietly dirge their way towards the wrought iron gates in the parking lot beyond. I thought it was a good service. Let's not talk about it. Bergen glances over. It's like someone's massaging my heart with a cheese grater. You should go home and sleep. No, can't. Bergen holds her gaze. Too much family. They seemed fine to me. You didn't grow up with them, and every time I look at Anne slowly bites her lip, becomes conscious of just how good-looking Bergen is in his suit. There's a hotel nearby. I have a room. Bergen, ever the gentleman, may I walk my lady over? They exchange a knowing glance. Right. Same. In the hotel corridor, Anne slides her keycard into the slot, cracks open the door. She pauses on the threshold, looks back at Bergen. You know, Dad liked you. Really liked you. If I wanted to be funny, I'd say he had good taste in men. She reaches out, grasps his tie, and pulls him close, gives her neck a you-should-kiss-me-now arch. Bergen leans in slow, lets his lips hover just short of her own until she crosses the gap. Sublime relief rushes through them. She strokes his cheek. He holds her firmly. The kiss becomes a promise of more. The two stumble eagerly into the hotel room. The door clicks shut behind them. Alright, and if the director wants some more steamy stuff here, they can put it in for all it matters. But I'm not here to write that, because it looks pretty tame on the page. Unless I was writing a novel, in which case there might be certain expectations of, something. Alright, interior hotel room morning. Dawn light filters in through curtained windows, casts its glow upon the rumpled bed where Bergen lies naked. A soft click. He wakens, sits up with a grunt. There, at the half-open door, stands Anne in her rumpled dress. A different sort of sadness lies heavy on her. I'm sorry, but every time I look at you, I see him. Bergen, what? Anne, as if she did not hear. And he's gone. Anne eases out the door, pulls it shut behind her. Bergen stares in utter shock until the lock clicks. With a cry of anguish, he lurches to his feet, stumbles very naked. And again, that's the director can figure out how naked we're going to depict him. So, exterior hotel core room. Bergen hurries down the hall. Hotel guests stare at him as he passes. A maid with a cleaning cart shrieks. Bergen absently grabs a sheet from the cleaning cart, rushes for Anne as she enters the elevator. The elevator dings shut an instant before he can reach it. He snap turns, finds the stairs, slings the sheet around him. Alright, interior hotel lobby. Old Victorian trappings flank the lobby as the elevator dings open. Anne exits along with many a patron. The stairwell door flies open. Bergen slides into sight, into view. The sheet wrapped about him like a toga of old, and that's deliberate. Anne heads for the exit. Bergen plants himself in front of her. She goes around. I had hoped to avoid this. Avoid what? You were very sweet yesterday, and I was very much alone. Can we have coffee? Talk? I'm late as it is. I'll walk you over. I have a flight. I have work. We'll talk on the way. You don't even know what I do for a living, do you? Bergen. I'm sure I would have asked eventually. And all we have in common, all we had was him. She reaches out, strokes his cheek. I have to go. I have to. She darts for the spinning glass doors. Bergen tries to follow, but a security guard steps in front of her. Sir, I'll have to ask you to wear pants. Bergen pushes the man aside, lunges for the exit. Anne. A bevy of security guards pile on him like flies on a horse. He shakes them off just as easily. A stun gun crackles, slams into Bergen, and he collapses in convulsions. Alright. Hotel room. A singed Bergen is shoved back into the empty love nest by the security guard and his burly fellows. You need to retrieve your things and leave. That would be a sir. You need to return there. They're always polite. It doesn't cost them anything. Bergen, clad in the sheet, starts to aimlessly do just that. Finds a shoe on the refrigerator. I'll get a fast cab to the airport. I'll see her there. Bergen flings the blanket off the bed, finds nothing but memories beneath. Bergen insistently to himself. She can't leave. Not when I've just found her. The couch comes next, yields up a sock. Bergen, still to himself. If she won't listen, I'll send flowers, roses and orchids, and if she'll toss those away, I'll send more. A whole garden. Bergen heads for the bathroom. Bergen stumbles in, finds the matching shoe atop the sink, pauses to splash water on his heated features. Bergen, a little calmer. I don't know which airport. Calm recedes. I don't know. I think I've got that reversed. I don't know which airport. I will let the actor determine this shit. Actor, director. You've got to let the actors have their head. If they want more specific details on how it goes back and forth, you can do that. Doesn't matter. I'll find her. She can't hide from me. Tries to calm himself. That sounds really creepy. But I deserve her, don't I? She'll want to be found, too. I almost saved her father. I wrestled Hades to give her those last 2 minutes. She owes me. And that's some... Alright. Bergen looks up in the mirror, finds the radiant image of Aphrodite reflected back before him. Athena and Artemis step in, flank their sister left and right. The 3 sundered portions of the golden apple rise up out of their collective hands, fuse back together into a singular fruit that slowly spins before him to reveal the vibrant, glowing word, potentiatos. Choose wisely, mortal. Will I get Anne back if I do? The goddesses remain silent and aloof. Bergen's rage builds. His fingers coil into fists. 1 night is not enough. Do you hear me? Not enough. Bergen slams a fist against the mirror, which shatters explosively into pieces. Alright. Exterior. Police precinct. Day. A badly dressed Bergen hurries down the precinct steps toward a waiting cab. Tony follows in his wake, reads a legal sheet as he does so. Assault, vandalism. Give me your cell phone. Tony continues to read. Public's indecency. Wait, no intoxication or urination? Give me your phone. I'm about to become a billionaire. Tony coughs pointedly and reaches for his phone. Bergen plugs an internet on Tony's phone as Tony watches in wary eye. Casinos won't let me play long enough to leverage the capital to buy out whatever company she works for. Stock trades down on Monday and up on Friday, excepting during a recession. All about timing. If the derivatives pay off at 3%, billionaire in 10 years tops. The foreign-born driver of the cab glances back at Bergen, reaches for a notepad on the dashboard. Tony, you feeling okay? Bergen, somewhat to Tony. Oh God, you're right. That is completely messed up. Bergen takes a deep breath. The driver is crestfallen. I can't wait 10 years. I'll explode. Driver, over shoulder. Could you tell more of this 10-year plan? Tony to Bergen. Take a deep breath. Bergen takes a deep breath. Bergen. Okay, the Earth is essentially one big spinning magnet. I need a mile-long superconducting loop with a slope of 2 degrees off axis. That should produce enough ions to power a small city, or larger, depending on the final perimeter of the construct. Tony to the driver. Nearest bar and step on it. Tourist bar. Day. Happy music burbles and bright screens flash as Bergen pounds down a beer. Lets the empty glass fall into place beside a bevy of others. Tony, an untouched pint in hand, shakes his head in disbelief. Bergen holds up the cell phone. And so she works as a lithologist for Bell Oil. Ha! I know what she does for a living now. She's on a wildcat geology thing in the Pacific. She's currently scheduled for a wildcat geology thing in the Pacific. I'll know more when I crack their HR department. Tony trades his cell phone back for his beer. Yeah, I should use an anonymous computer. You know, her tagline is, I've got claws and a thirst for crude. Great stuff. Here's how I'm going to get her back. Japan holds the rights to several little islands out in the Pacific that... Later, Bergen wobbles his way towards a stupor. Gladiatorial death match. Just me and him. Bare knuckles for the fate of Western civilization. We could put the whole thing on pay-per-view so that when I rip his terrorist spine out... Oh God, this was done before Osama bin Laden was killed, wasn't it? Okie dokie. Thanks. I know. I'll join SEAL Team 6. Yeah, that's it. I'm going Navy. Isn't the 6 a secret unit? Yeah, but what does that... Ah, crap. Fine, I'll be an astronaut. They get plenty of publicity. I'll fund the mission to Mars and... Exterior street, night. Bergen tilt walks down the street away from another bar, propped up only by Tony. Bergen is finally drunk as a skunk. That no one has ever done before. The critique of pure reason. Suck it, Plato. And will have to come back to me then. 2 weeks. Tops. Bergen stumbles, collapses. On his knees he begins to weep. Tony takes his friend's shoulder, gives it a heartfelt squeeze. What went wrong? We were screwing like sea otters, all wet and happy, and then... Hey, I've been there. Women are just different. Thanks. Good thing, too, otherwise we'd all be naked all the time. Tony sights a high-end strip club down the street. You know what? Bergen is inconsolable. Never mind. Let's get you home. Interior bachelor apartment, night. Bergen blurrily stares at the ceiling, his eyes full of Anne. I have another plan. Lots of plans. And this is to himself. Sleepily to himself, I have another plan. Lots of plans. I'll carve your name in the moon. I'll carve your name on the moon with a giant laser. You couldn't ignore that, could you, Anne? I'll get started tomorrow. Tomorrow is when everything starts. His eyes flicker closed, his dreams held close. Another montage. Well, I'm leaning on this pretty hard, aren't I? The bedside alarm goes off. Bergen sits bolt upright and lurches out of bed. As sunlight filters in, he tears the shrink wrap from a myriad packages, pulls out components one by one. His stomach growls as he works a soldering iron on delicate electrics with evident skill. By a street corner, a pair of thugs enter a deli with a baseball bat. Bergen checks his watch, enters after. Two newly bruised thugs come racing back out. Bergen saunters after them. The baseball bat, the battered baseball bat, and a pastrami sandwich in either hand. Back in his apartment, Bergen finishes a hefty book, tosses on the pile of others, then turns to type on a laptop. At a night-swept sawdust bar, he downs a straight shot, sketches out a diagram on a napkin. A fight breaks out. He looks up with a grin that frames a 5 o'clock shadow, shoves the napkin into a pocket, and lopes toward the brawl. A bruised Bergen pulls the switch on a cobbled-together prototype. Dr. Seelig and others applaud as it begins to thrum. Bergen glances absently at his new cell phone. In the apartment, Bergen taps furiously on his laptop. Okay. Amid the city zoo, an unshaven Bergen paces past cage after cage. Predators and prey cower at the sight of him. Across the way, a group of school kids gather around a lion's cage as feeding time commences. Back at the apartment, a disheveled Bergen rolls a beer can over top of a thickly bandaged wound with the lock on the cage springs open. Alright, back at the apartment, a disheveled Bergen rolls a beer can over top of a part of the cage suddenly springs open, leaving a gap. Back at the apartment, a disheveled Bergen rolls a beer can over top of a thickly bandaged wound with one hand while his other balances a book for reading. His eyes fall away from the words, flicker about madly. So Bergen's losing it, obviously. Interior bachelor back to scene. Yeah. Bergen stares at a dark television, surrounded by empty beer cans. A nearly empty whiskey bottle rests in hand. The apartment door swings open, pushes aside a stack of mail collected there. Tony leans in with a Gergos takeout bag in hand. Got your dinner. Kostas picks it up himself, pushes in. Hey, lots of mail here, some of it certified. Tony catches sight of the beer cans. You doing a liquid dinner? Bad idea. That never solves anything. Bergen tosses the whiskey bottle at the TV, hits it just right to power it up. The news begins, and a newscaster on TV gives a grin. Welcome back to the top of the hour. We have breaking developments in today's incredible story when a lion... Incredible story. A lion escaped from its pen in the city zoo. While fourth graders from what do we name this? I need a New York personage without being trite or annoying. Let's see. Who was the... no, I don't want it to be... From Warren Elementary looked on. Watch closely. The TV image shifts to show shaky footage of a lion as it leaps... Shaky... Cell phone. Footage of a lion as it leaps its enclosure and drops down amid fearful children. A bearded figure rushes it as the beast prepares to... familiar. Bearded figure rushes it as the beast prepares to leap onto a little girl. The figure in line go claw against fist in an insane tumble until, against all odds, the hero comes out on top. The mysterious hero subdued the beast and then departed before anyone learned his name. Tony looks over at Bergen, finds a thin smile on his... I can remove that from Bergen. Give the actor more leeway. Besides, it can be interpreted a couple different ways here. And that's all to the good. Tony looks over at Bergen, sights the bandage beneath the beer can. Bergen, will she know it was me? I wouldn't. Tony tosses the takeout onto Bergen's lap. A cell phone rings. Bergen answers. Bergen into the phone. Yeah? Listens. What? Prototypes always have quirks. Listens. No, it doesn't sound like that. That sound like too many rads. I'll be down around midnight. I've got stuff to do. Hangs up, looks at Tony. I found her. Tony pauses. She's on an oil rig off Java. Nice sandy little atoll nearby. I'm thinking of buying it, flying out. Tony, that's stalker talk. Wealthy, but still stalker talk. Bergen shrugs, stands, dislodges a clatter of beer cans as he carries the takeout into the kitchen. How much sleep are you getting? What does that matter when I only have one dream? Bergen opens the refrigerator, grabs another beer, and basks in the cool air that flows out. You're on a mad road. Turn off, man. Turn off before it's too late. Bergen slow burns to Tony. What was that? I'm crazy? Bergen lunges, pins his friend against the wall. I'm not. I'm not insane. I'm in hell. Do you hear me? This is hell. A crackle of lightning fills the air. Bergen jumps back. Bergen flies back, slams onto the floor in convulsions. Tony, a little shocked himself, pushes off the wall with a stun gun. Lies in his hand, and fresh lightning arcs between the prongs. Tony, when hotel security stopped you with one of these, I thought, lightning, Jupiter, king of the gods, and all that. My God, I think I finally believed your story about the three goddesses. Nothing else makes sense. Bergen pushes himself up. Not Jupiter, it's Zeus, idiot. Idiot? You're supposed to be the one with the razor-sharp mind, but you forgot something important. The original goddesses who contended for the golden apple of Eris were Athena, Aphrodite, and Hera. Were they? I will have to check. So, I knew. Bull. No, I'm not lying either. Puns. It's worse than I thought. Look, at the three cursed you, didn't they? Cursed, not gifted. They all want their way, and are playing you like a fiddle at a whiskey-sipping contest. Bergen snorts a laugh. Took me a while to come up with that one. It's pretty good, Bergen admits. Tony, you first told me they wanted you to choose which of them was most worthy of desire. And that it had nothing to do with your Anne. They could care less about her or you, only your choice. I say, let's figure out the riddle of the apple and get things back to normal. Bergen, the trouble is, there's no answer. At least none I can give and not lose Anne. Haven't you lost her? Haven't you already lost her? Haven't you lost her already? Haven't you lost her already? No, I haven't, and I never will. Woman's voice. Your clever friend is right, you know. Interior, Olympian kitchen. Soft sunlight warmly drapes a gorgeous woman in a feminine cut business suit as she slides a pan of cookies into an old-time oven. Hera casts a glance of fond regard toward a neatly dressed and clean-shaven Bergen. The three cursed you at the start of things, not blessed, and somehow you forgot all that. Bergen blinks at her. You have to be Hera. I mean, Demeter would have a cornucopia lying around, and Hestia would be a little less impressive. Hera licks a bit of errant cookie dough from a flawless finger. A fine compliment. My sisters are at work right now. All three at once, really. And that's your trouble, isn't it? Athena is all about intellect. Artemis wants you to run wild. And Aphrodite would like nothing more than to have you slide between the sheets of someone new every night. They haven't changed, not really. Bergen does not interrupt. Women have come far as of late. They often choose their husbands, and marriage has ceased to be a sentence of hard labor. As it has been for them, so has it become for me. I don't understand. Of course you don't. Athena does not wish you to possess such insight. Artemis keeps your blood pumping so you will not pause to think. And Aphrodite, who do you suppose pushed Anne away from you? Why would you do that? Anne is my whole reason for Aphrodite possesses a portfolio of wanting, yearning, and desire. Often culminating, of course, but never fully. I, on the other hand, am all about satisfaction. Hera slides the pan of cookies out of the oven. Bergen, they are perfectly baked. They are perfectly baked. Bergen, this is beginning to feel like that scene from Matrix with Neo and the Oracle. It's a reference a movie within a movie. Bergen glances at a sign above the doorway. Insert Hera's sign. Contentment is found in little things done right. Back to scene. Bergen turns back around, finds Hera directly before him. Hera, you must clear your mind. She lays a hand atop his forehead with a mother's touch, yet is every inch the mature beauty that married Zeus. Because if you don't, the curse of the Hecate will consume you. She strokes his brow, and he shudders in relief. All right, back to the apartment. Blinks himself back to the here and now amid the bachelor pad. The refrigerator yawns open before him. His mouth is stuffed full of ice cubes. Need some ice, did you? Bergen spits out the cubes in the sink. Bergen, I just had an epiphany. Who was it? Artemis? Athena? Bergen, unexpected. I'm missing something. What am I missing? Everything you were. Bergen. That's it. Turns. That's it. I have to get my balance back. I can't let Anne see me like this, ever. Which means I have to confront the three who are making me nuts. We agree. So, at last we agree. At last we agree. At last we agree. So, to the internets with us? Bergen, nope. This requires a library. And we're going to end it there, yeah, because he's going to go to the public library and we're going to do some research. God, I don't know if I've got another montage coming, but that would make 5. I'm going to have to figure out a way to cut those down. Or just keep them in and know that it's the passage of time and it's unavoidable. All right. But that's episode 5 of Alan Revises, and working on the second apple here. I hope you've enjoyed this and found it insightful as to how creative writing works. Take care, and have a good day.